What are 5 tips to look good on Zoom, MS Teams and Google Meet? How can you look better using them? Let's find out. So by the way, if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Lots of great videos coming up. Don't miss out. So number 1, the most important thing, you want to look into the camera. You want to look into the camera. You would not believe how often I do online presentation training and people don't look into the camera. They just don't, right? Where do they look? They look at your screen, right? So stop looking at your screen. I know it's human nature. You actually want to look at your audience. The funny thing is when you give presentations online, again, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, it doesn't matter. But where do you look? You look at the people on your screen, correct? Because you want to look at their faces. The issue with that, look at me right now one time. Does it feel like I'm looking at you right now? Probably not, right? But in Zoom or Microsoft Teams or in Google Meet, I'm looking at you. But you don't feel that way, correct? So for you as well, you want to look into the camera. When you look into the camera, they feel like you're looking at them. So I want to suggest to you, try to look at least 50% of your time to the camera. Sometimes to look at your screen, look at the wonderful faces of your audience, but mostly look into the camera. Tip number 2 to look good is to have the right webcam location. So critical, yeah? You now know you got to look into the camera to make that connection that they feel you're actually looking at them, all right? The next thing that you need, of course, to make that easy for you, got to have the right webcam location. Now, the big mistake that most people make, their webcam location is too low. Okay, got a quick one here. So they're looking down into their webcam. Yeah, if you see it here from the side, whenever you're looking down. And this is not a good thing. Why? Because we don't want to see your nose hair. Okay, this is not a very attractive view, right? Being filmed from bottom up is not a great thing. So what do you want instead? You want to have the webcam at eye level. Yeah, you want to have it at eye level, basically. Okay, and for most of you, this will mean that you got to make some adjustments. Yeah, probably for you, your webcam is part of your laptop or your MacBook. Yeah, you might have to raise it. You got to get a laptop stand if that is the case. Yeah, and you got to make other adjustments too. If you're using a desktop, also you got to make some adjustments. It's got to really fit, you know, that it's really at your eye level, because then you look your best, your very, very best. Number 3, your head should almost touch the top of the screen. What do most presenters do? Well, worst case, you're presenting from down here, right? Or you're having meetings from down here. Is this a good thing? No, right? Not at all. Right? All pros, all professionals, the head is almost touching of your camera view that you're basically in. The head is pretty much almost touching it. In some cases, it's even touching the top. What do most beginners think? Most beginners think it should be here in the middle. But here in the middle, you see the issue as well. Can you see me gesturing right now? You can see nothing. Yeah, online anywhere, the connection we have with our audience is a little bit limited. So if you cannot even gesture, you cannot bring the attention back to you, oh my God, yeah, so make sure you have the right setup like this as well. Don't make the beginner's mistake, this one or worse, this one, yeah. Worst, by the way, the very worst is not to use the video at all, just your voice. Your video will always beat any voice layover. For example, if you give a presentation, yeah, and you use slides, seeing your face is a huge, huge benefit. So make sure that you have the right setup, that your head is almost touching the top of the camera view. Tip number 4 is light. The easiest way to fix light issues, by the way, is to face a window. You can see the window from my right side right now, but see here, it's gotten dark suddenly. What happened? Well, I turned my light off. So the other best solution that you can get something of an LED ring. Yeah, kind of like a YouTuber light. A simple light that you can turn on, you know, that can really highlight your face, because there's nothing worse, yeah, and I cannot even fully show it to you here right now, but then being in the dark. And I've seen it so many times. When you're sitting, when you have a window behind you, you're guaranteed to be dark. Your whole face is dark. You don't want that, okay? So make sure that you get a light, that you're very well lit. because a dark looking presenter, yeah, in one of these meetings, it's not a good thing. You don't want that, get a light. Tip number 5 to look good is your background. Yeah, you want to have a good background. And the most important thing is that your background should be static. Yeah, that's the most important thing. You should have no movement in your background. If you're, for example, in the office and lots of people keep moving behind you, it can be very, very distracting. So whatever you share, your audience cannot really hear because they keep being distracted. Yeah, any distraction in the back, we want to avoid it. And then you have basically 2 options to have a great background. Option number 1 is to have a simple, clean one like you see with behind me right now. Yeah, in my case, it's a gray color. It could be white. Yeah, just a simple background. Yeah, you can still have a painting maybe on the wall, or like in my case, Thor's hammer here. Or the other option is to have more of an interesting background. Kind of think YouTubers. You know, when you watch a lot of YouTubers, they have a more interesting background. You probably, if you've watched my videos before, you know this is one of my backgrounds. I have another background in my office as well, 2 different ones that I use that are a little bit more interesting. Yeah, you can have a look at those in this video too, okay? And so you want to choose one of the 2. You have either make it very, very simple color background, or make it a little bit more interesting. So comment down below on time, which of these tips are you going to use right away? Which one were most useful for you? Ask me any questions that you might have, any specifics. Yeah, but use these 5 tips. They really, really work to make you look good. That's what this video is really about. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't yet, and most importantly, I really look forward to seeing you for the next video.